G'day, it's Clive Rocksinger here again. This stereo system I'm doing is how a panel beater would do it. So I'm no electronic whiz kid by any means. But I found a great deal about this mixer. And you won't get anybody that'll teach mixers. They just say, I just, fiddle around with it. So I plugged the whole music system through the house into it, hoping I'd learn it. Well, it's actually turned out that I am learning it. What I found out is that you've actually got to go through the mixer in one. I had a bloke tell me, he said, you've only got one or two outputs. And he said, you got to do this and you got to do that. This has got about 5 outputs. It's a 12 channel input, but it's not only got your two output controls here, right? It's got those two there, which are controls for your main volumes, but you've got an output here through this USB. This is a Xenix 1622 USB Xenix, and that's actually got an out there too. That's actually an out. Where's the flashlight? Put the flashlight on it. As you can see, it's got out written there, if you can read that. And the way I've got it configured, I've got to get another couple of selectors, because I've got quite a few configurations. But the thing is when you've got a home stereo, you've got a lot of configurations, you've got a lot of things you want to run through it. I've got my PlayStation, I've got my TV, and all sorts of different setups. And the way I've got it through now is incredible. I had way too much wiring on it. It was all incorrectly wired. That's excess wiring that I pulled out that I didn't need, and this is what's actually left. And it's actually quite an incredible system. What I've got it doing now, which I actually had it wired up at this, and I had it wired up in the most incredibly stupid way. What I've got now is I've actually got control through the mixer of the main stereo system. So I've got your main output. I've got an individual bass output here. I can actually increase that bass by itself. But I've also got controls here to control bass and treble. Now really what I've got to balance. This is the Digitech controller, and I can turn that down and turn the bass up here. I can also turn, I think, I can control the treble from here. There's also controls obviously on the stereo itself, which can also be controlled. And I've also got a secondary system, whereas if I pull this out of here, I can pull that out of there, this disconnects the main system. So it's going through this speaker. I'll turn that one down because that's now disconnected. That's off the main system, and now this is running through the minor system for just listening when I'm working on the computer. And see, this also will run off this. Which is very clever. Now, another thing I found out, which is really cool, and I didn't realise that that's what this was. I asked the bloke, I said, I want to be able to relay certain speakers. What this is this is a 5-channel, but it's not a toggle. Like normally with a toggle you press 5, it turns all the other ones off. This one, you can individually turn on each channel, and you can put different combinations on, which is fantastic. So I can put my 5-way system on, and if I've got too much treble I can actually cut the treble speakers off. So I don't know how that's going to work, but what it does is it will distribute to the full 5-channel system, and if I have trouble with the mids or anything like that, I can actually take them out of the system and just turn them off. So that's a very interesting device. This is actually a speaker splitter, which is incredible. So that goes on the back of the amplifier out of the stereo, and this guy called me this, and I scoffed when he said I'd rated it 400 watts each. That's 800 watts, and I checked it, and it actually is. So there's 800 watts worth of speakers there. It's not 800, but I think this is 200. This is 120 watts a channel, I think. This thing here, and I think the other one's quite powerful too. But so that means that I can turn this absolutely flat out till it's distorting, and the speakers will only be working at about a third of their normal value. So that's great because it doesn't distort. So that's going to be a very nice output out of there. I've also got satellite speaker here for that system. I've got satellite speakers off the other one, and what I'll probably do is run my vocals through these ones, which you can't see now. No, you can't see it. They're they were the 5-channel surround speakers that I had, and that's another set that I've got. So I've actually got 2 sets of those now. And if you ever doing stereo at home, you need this. I go to the electronic shop and buy like $30 or $40 worth at a time. Where's the... You need this when you're doing this sort of stuff. The guy said to me, he said, oh, what do you need? I said, oh, this is just me kit. That's basically just, I'll be wiring up this and that, and you get your different configurations, whatever mood takes you, and you can wire up any configuration that you want. And this is all just leftover stuff that wasn't plugged in. I did all sorts of stuff. I'm trying to get the PlayStation. I've got beg your pardon, I've got 3 PlayStations and a Wii, and I just bought another gun for me Wii, so I'm going to have to connect that up as well. And all those systems run their own music output, so I'm going to get cut off in a second. But yeah, if you're doing a lot of wiring at home, you need to do that. Have a